Hey, everybody, and welcome to the As You Are podcast. My name's Leslie Vandergans. I'm the founder of Ensō Coaching and Consulting, and we are here for season 3. Finale! With the amazing coaches. Oh.
I like that.
Yes, with our amazing coaches. Adam.
Roberts.
Hello.
Is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I was going to say your last name. I know your last name.
Okay.
It's not
Adam, is
forgettable.
it?
Libby.
Yeah. So who are you?
Libby?
Jetling.
Libby? Kathleen.
No, I'm just going to be Kathleen. I live on the edge.
And we are here
Yeah, we are.
for the finale of season 3, you guys.
That's kind of wild.
I know.
It's very wild.
It is very wild. Wait, I just want to pat ourselves on the back. 1 to 3 seasons, amazing, and 2,
seasons.
right? The other one, and I kind of lightly alluded to this. I truly have had a handful of people this past week alone come up and be like, "Oh, I really love your podcast," or I really enjoy seeing the reels. It's so cool that y'all are doing that. I also have lots of people assume that I host a podcast or co-host a podcast for a living.
Yes.
They're
I know.
whatever.
Wouldn't that be nice someday?
Wouldn't it be nice? They're
This is
just
it,
like,
guys.
Dreams.
Someday.
yeah.
Yeah, our podcast will just take
Our
off.
podcast.
I mean, we have a lot of really, the thing that's great about it is we could sit and banter for hours and hours
Always.
and hours.
Always.
What we're doing today.
Yeah.
Literally, it's been 2 hours that we've just been bantering. We could do it forever. And the thing that's really great is we get to highlight some really cool people who are doing
That's
really
right.
cool things. And
I know.
there's so much more. There's so many more humans. There's so many more things that people are creating that's worth the conversation. You know,
I think that's the most exciting part is when we see the people that we have on the roster to talk to and just the conversations that have come out of it, the people that we'll have coming up next season.
Yeah.
It's just the conversations are always really cool too. And I think that is something, Kathleen, earlier you had talked about being surprised. And I think that there's always kind of an element of surprise to those conversations.
We show up and we're like, let's see what happens. What's going to happen?
Yeah.
And it's fun when it's that way, you know? Yeah. Yeah, it's the improvisation live theater world.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Talk about transferable skills. That it's whatever people bring in or bring up, it's very much yes and.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Tell me more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the theme of just everyone, no one has started where they want to, no one starts where they want to be.
Yeah.
And
Or where they are.
yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
As long as you come as you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that you're looking up. You're like,
Just as a
As you
reminder
are.
of
There
what
she
this
is.
thing was
Yeah.
called.
Yeah. Where are we again?
As you
right.
are.
As you are.
yeah.
You know, something that was really special is we started the season with Vincent
Yep.
as one of. Well, actually, that's not true. We started with Zilker, but Vincent was one of our first guests.
Yes.
Mhm.
And we just came back from New York last night, getting to see him before he closes Lion King.
Yep.
And I mean, it was just so sweet and so magical, you guys. I mean, it was so fun to talk to him. He is, if we can just fill his bucket, he is just a wonderful human.
So kind.
So kind, so professional.
Yeah.
And it was it's late. It was a late show, and he took our children backstage and showed them all of the props and let them ask questions. He even did a cartwheel with our
He did
girls.
cartwheels with them. I mean, that's
It was just really special. And I think about the memories that they will have because he was so willing to just, you know what I mean? It's just,
well, and that's their first
Just by the way, I just want to stress, in case people didn't know, we're talking about Broadway. Effing way.
Yes.
yeah.
But
I mean, and he's
Simba.
the star of the Lion King.
But seeing someone that is in the business is so kind and humble and works so hard, and having that as an example rather than, I don't know, maybe some of the weird toxic things that we saw growing up in theater as that's how you do it.
Yeah.
And I think being able to see such a great example of it that feels also he's a real he's a person that they know, and having that is just so special, and what a great example for them. And then, with him, just it's so evident that he's, practicing what he preaches, and he really is all of the things that, we talked about, being, kind and humble and a hard worker and showing up. And he does
again, and him just being aligned with his values too. Like that was one of the things that he talked about on the episode, was just, making, even when he chooses to what artistic pieces he does next, like he's very clear on, I'm not going to just do anything. Like I'm going to be really purposeful. I think he joked about like Footloose. Like he was like, I'm not going to do Footloose, but I did that in high school. But now, like he gets to kind of be purposeful about what he chooses. And like, when you're that way, when you show up in a certain way, like it really makes a difference. It was just a really special conversation.
Yeah. And I think about the reach with that, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And when we're people-centered and we lead with kindness, just how far that goes.
Yeah.
You can shape someone's whole life and not even realize it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So cute.
And going after your dreams.
I know.
There too.
I know.
Talk about making that in action.
He did. He was hustling like somebody else we know.
Oh, yeah.
Table. Hustler.
Napping.
My daughter did say, when are auditions for Nala next? I
Oh,
was like,
yes.
okay, Susan, calm down.
What
Not there yet.
if Nora said that too? I'd have to break her heart and be like, my friend.
I was like, RJ,
That's
you're
not
like
it.
a little bit, you have a little bit of color, but that's a stretch.
That's not your role. That is not your role.
Stretch. Anyway.
Baby June and Gypsy.
Yeah.
Come on. Let's do it. Yeah.
It's more Emmy.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
That's true. That is way more Emmy.
Anyway, we just love Vincent. That was so great.
It was so fun.
Yeah, and then we had two like our artists with Jamie at ACC, which was an amazing conversation, like learning more about what they're doing in that program. And then Lisa Muir, who's the executive director at Zilker, and you know what? They're gonna get their production up,
Yes.
which was very different from when we filmed and had that conversation.
That's right. I was going to say, I guess that's the like follow up.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
that it's happening.
They're doing Bring It On. Auditions are happening like right now. If you want to be
15th
on
and
Bring It On.
16th, I think.
Oh,
Yeah, there you go.
Well, I saw a post about it earlier.
I was like, Kathleen, have you dusted off your,
I know.
my backflip.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jesus. Samesies. I would always be cast for
Brushing off the old
an aerial
toe
list.
touch.
Yeah.
High school cheerleader is still in my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Feel good.
Yeah, but it is. It's cool to see it happening.
Crack. Yeah.
and I think the rising generations, right, is the theme of this.
Yeah.
Right, that it's like, choosing a show like Bring It On, which is definitely for all of us in this room, but especially for people who are coming up in the world.
Yeah.
And wanting to make the arts
too.
accessible.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Has ACC made decisions about what they're doing this summer yet?
They have.
I heard a rumor about this too. I
I
spoke
don't
to
think
Jamie.
I can say.
Oh.
Dang it. Well, I know
Ooh.
because I spoke to Jamie.
Oh.
Well, this couch is in the know.
You better. Oh,
Man.
wait. Well, guess what? You're gonna have to DM
Off air.
Adam. DM
Yeah.
Adam and Kathleen if you want to know what
Yes.
show. But it is open for all
It
performers.
will be
There you
open
go.
for anyone to
Anyone
audition.
to audition.
for
And when
the
does that show happen?
That show is going to happen next spring of 2026, the next
Oh,
musical.
got it. Okay, the next
Mhm.
musical, spring of 2026.
Mhm.
And they're doing a show right now, aren't they?
They are. I saw
They
it.
are. Did you see it?
I saw it
seen
opening night.
Saturday, I think.
Yeah.
Are they? Okay.
Paula Vogel.
Paula Vogel. They're doing Long Christmas Ride Home. And I really could talk all day about ACC and how much I love them. It's a script that is like a really challenging script from like a content standpoint. And then from like a technical execution standpoint, you have 3 puppets that have got to be like these are 3D printed wooden elements. Like it's not Muppets, which I love, but it's like a full on puppet. You have at least 2
I love a
puppeteers
Muppet.
for each one. I do
That's
too.
so cool.
And again, the content is really nuanced.
Yeah.
And that ACC is choosing a script that I actually don't see being done very often at all.
Yeah.
That's
But
great.
that it's
Good
like
for them.
we're gonna raise the bar and know that people will meet it.
Yeah. I mean, speaking to stepping into really making sure you're stepping into a space that is Austin, and it feels like they're really trying to be unique and they're really trying to, be a little avant-garde, which is
Totally.
what Austin is supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pushing some boundaries.
Pushing the boundaries. Exactly. I love it.
I do think like in the we just spoke before this about all of the themes that we love amongst, some of the different guests and things like that. I think for this season, for me, kind of what has stood out is this kind of, I guess, the notion of just doing things differently,
Mm-hmm.
right? So how do you, maybe you've seen something done one way or one person's path to success looked a certain way,
Mm-hmm.
and not being afraid to do it differently,
Yeah.
and not being afraid to say like, this is, I see that, but I'm going to take a different path.
Yeah. Yeah. And isn't that what good like creatives and business people do?
Yeah.
Is that they're constantly evolving and constantly learning from what happened in the past and what was built before.
Yeah.
Like if we don't have history, then we can stay stagnant, right?
That's right.
Yeah. I love it. We also had our dear friend Scott Hickle on.
Yes.
It was one of my favorite episodes.
I
the
loved it.
toilet.
I loved
It was
it.
so great.
Fascinating.
So fascinating.
Talk
I
about
mean, I love
innovation.
what they're
Yes.
doing. Innovation.
Innovation
And gaps.
Yes.
And
That's right.
like doing work that could change
For
the
good.
world.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, good for them. Like I hope that they have all the success in the world, but it's just so fun, fun seeing somebody that we worked with, I don't know, 5 years ago, and then, kind of coming out and building this, building this new.
And I think they're hiring too. So
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Okay.
guys,
For what it's worth,
look for it.
listeners.
Oh,
Yeah.
there we go.
yeah, get out there. And then we had Meraki Fit on with
Yeah.
Beverly Theodore, who, again, was like, doing something differently, thinking about the challenges that athletes have and making sure, especially high school athletes, making sure that their bodies are set up for success.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about my John's best friend, my husband's best friend. He is a euphonium player for the Army band in Washington, and he's been having some body stuff. And I was just thinking about like, him carrying a euphonium and like
Sure.
every morning playing and standing and being at attention and all the other stuff. Like, what does it do? For an aging body and. I just love that. I love that they're thinking about it at that age because that is when
How can you?
bad habits start.
Bad
Yeah.
habits. And I also feel like there are a lot of injuries that happen at that age too,
Oh
if
my
not
gosh,
protected,
yeah.
where it's like, I know people who, Jay actually, my partner, like had a knee surgery when he was like late teens.
Ugh,
Yeah.
Mhm.
it's
You know?
insane.
Mhm.
Yeah. Ugh, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Taking care of ourselves at all ages.
I know.
Yes, we must.
I love that too.
know.
I was
Yeah.
just thinking that they need to come up with like, when you're a mom and you carry the like baby carrier thing,
Yes.
and you like, there's a name for it, but like how you mess up your wrists
Yeah,
from
because you're
like
carrying it like
you're carrying
Mm.
and then like unclipping the car seat and things like that. It's like it's called like mother's wrist which I
Ugh.
didn't know. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, someone needs to get
somebody
on
do
that.
that. Yeah.
Someone get on
Okay.
that.
I know. There's
Then we'll have
there's
you
a
on.
gap, Beverly.
There's a gap, and
Go
it's
for that one, Beverly.
It's called when you're very uneven from carrying the
Oh,
baby
yeah.
seat, and one side is really strong and
Yeah.
the other is weak.
I know. I remember
Mm.
my body doing
Ooh,
things after this.
that was rough.
I know. I was like, that sounds
It's
not
awful.
pleasant.
painful.
Yeah.
I know.
Painful.
Just one of the
It's
Making
like
this
the next carpal tunnel.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then we had our dear friend Natalie George on,
Natalie
who
A gem
man,
of a human.
she is just she
Mhm.
blows my mind. Like her
Same.
commitment and again standards.
Yes.
Yes.
And like her passion for just making things unique.
Yep.
And not status quo
Mm-hmm.
and quality and doing it with a good attitude.
Just general badassery.
I know.
Just
She is
love-
so cool.
Yeah, she's cool.
She's cool.
I'm
And
like constantly like, can we be?
oh,
I've
no,
always-
I will show you my text chain as I'm like, hey, when are we hanging out next?
I'm
What are we doing? What are you doing next month?
Natalie George fan club.
Yeah.
Natalie George
Yeah.
fan club.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And a side note, Flower Hill is if you're looking for some opportunity for some
Yes.
donations, like Flower Hill is taking them right now because they're like looking at building out their next iteration for that
Yep.
for that building and for that space. They're about to launch their garage pretty soon. I hope I'm not.
No, I think you're right.
I hope
Are
I'm
you
not
spoiling everything?
spilling.
Yeah.
No,
dispelling
Natalie.
any
I think
information.
Natalie spoke about
She
this
did,
when
I
she was
believe, yeah.
here.
Okay, good.
The other thing too is like also if you're in Austin or visiting Austin, just even go to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. It's a
very
it's a
cool.
very cool space. I want to say something else about Natalie.
2 businesses that she is running.
She's got 2 businesses, and I also, in the same way that I think about this with you, Leslie, I think about Natalie and how good she is with people and caring about her people and
She
you know,
does.
advocating for them and really, you know, treating them well.
Yeah. She's amazing. 2 businesses.
2 businesses.
And it's not the same. It's not like
Not the same
2
business.
kind
Yeah.
of
Right.
similar businesses.
No,
It's
she's
like
she's
a
brilliant.
nonprofit organization and a for-profit
Yeah.
event experience
Yeah.
business. It's just, she blows my mind. I love her
I
dearly.
text her now.
Yeah.
Hey, girl, we love you.
I mean,
it's
she's
so
pretty
good.
cool.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Get in there, support that Flower Hill
Yeah.
Center.
Yeah.
It's going to be pretty cool. It's amazing. It is amazing that when you are really leading something and have a strong vision, like, you know, she would be humble to this, but like what she's been able to accomplish in just a year as being the ED there is mind blowing, and I think it's just a testament to like the focus and the drive and the passion for making things happen.
Yes. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of how.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Can I do this? No.
Yeah.
How will I do it?
How?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Right?
It's a mindset shift, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. Who else do we have on? Oh, Chris
Chris.
Heller.
Chris Heller.
That was like a
Hello.
little
Yeah.
intimate conversation. I think
I
everybody
know.
was ill that day.
It's been a great season for everyone.
I know, truly.
I know. But you know, I mean, Chris used to be my CEO,
Yeah.
and somebody that I really loved working with him, and man, we got to have some really raw. He was very vulnerable, and it was a very raw conversation. And you know, the thing that stuck with me that he said, and we kind of talked about it before we started here, was, you know, you can have. He was like, I worked for 2 billionaires. 1 billionaire was constantly in fear, and 1 billionaire was driving towards a very clear vision. And then the experience that he had as the president CEO running the organizations with both of those founders was night and day. And it's a reminder for us, like, we can be in fear and operate in fear, but like, what does that create for the people around us, our families, our, you know, coworkers, our friends, versus like really going for something that we see that we're passionate about.
Yeah. And he sees, you know, 1 billionaire that's in fear, one that is, you know, driving things towards the mission. And how can he do things differently, you know, based on he's seeing these things. So again,
So it's him choosing, right? Like,
back to the theme of, okay, our kids seeing Vincent as this Broadway performer, how are they going to choose to show up when they've seen examples of, like, here's, you know, someone that's humble, that works really hard. Here's someone that, you know, maybe just has, you know, an attitude and a complex and is hard to work with. You've seen examples, and I think part of it is like getting exposed to everything that's out there, and then choosing who are the people that have stood out to you in your mind that you are like, yes, I want to show up like that.
Absolutely. And what that makes me think of too comes back to the, like, you know, it's not just what you've been told, it's what are your lived experiences. And we had that anecdote earlier on, I think in this episode, where it was like, you know, Vincent being so wonderful and kind, and that's different than, you know, what some of us grew up with theater, where it's like, this is the only way to do it.
Right.
So if you're being told you can only get this position by
Being cutthroat,
by
and
being
clawing your way to the
yeah,
top.
exactly. Where it's like, actually, we have a lot of examples where that's not the case.
Yeah.
And also, like, who do you ultimately want to be?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And you could choose to be cutthroat,
Absolutely.
and that could be something that's aligned with you, and that's totally fine. And you know, but it's a choice.
It's a choice.
Truly a choice,
Yeah.
right? And not just
This is just what has to happen if you want this
In order
position.
to be a CEO,
Exactly.
you have to be, you know,
X, Y, and Z.
right.
Yeah.
And I think that that's the thing that we're really leaning into these people who are seeing that there is a different way. And how did they, you know,
Yeah.
what are their stories? How did they find that?
Yeah, you know, you say that. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, go interrupt me.
You said that, and it immediately reminded me of Mia, who was like, nonprofit. Like, one of the things that she said was like, nonprofits aren't supposed to pay their people
Yeah.
I
well.
literally had the same thought.
I mean, like literally,
Mhm.
right? And
Mhm.
again, like she said,
Yeah.
we're advocating for women. We are teaching women to advocate for themselves.
So how are we?
I can't not advocate for myself and for my team. That just means we've got to go raise money.
Mhm.
Yes.
And it's just very simple. And the thing that's been so great about what Mia Johns and what Dress for Success Austin is doing is it's moved beyond like that. Like we want people to look and feel good so they can be
Mhm.
confident, but also like let's teach them how
Mhm.
Skills. What are the
how to interview, yes, how to network, how to develop your like leadership or your self-awareness or the tools that you need to succeed in the business. So it's beyond just like one thing. Like they've created this, kind of very like well-rounded place. And again, it was so nice to talk to them because again, they're really thinking about the whole woman, really, because it is a
Mhm.
women's organization,
Yeah.
the whole woman rather than just a piece of them, right? Ugh,
I know.
so good.
Was
Yes, pay your people.
pay your
Pay
people.
your
Yes.
people.
I mean, this is the live your values. Like that, I think always comes through with when we interact with people.
Mhm.
Yeah.
How many of them are living their values?
Yep, absolutely. And then, and then we got to dig in and just get to know each other a little bit.
That
And
was
it
too.
was, it was really nice.
Which
It was
again,
nice.
how did we want to do things different? How did we want to show up differently from maybe what
Yeah,
we saw or choosing careers that
yeah. Or what our lived experience
Yeah.
was.
Yeah,
or-
I think lived experience was
Yeah.
the theme that came
Yeah.
through for all of us.
Yeah.
So
For
it's
sure.
like we have to acknowledge that we are a whole person,
Yeah.
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
That there's a reason for where we are right now.
Right. And what a reminder that everybody has like their story,
100%.
everybody has their background. And the more curious and open we can be,
Yeah.
the more we can learn from other people's lived
That's right.
experiences, which, again, like in that conversation with just us, like I learned so much about each of you.
Yeah.
And in fact, wanted to have more conversations around,
Yeah.
time limits us, but there's more to learn.
I have good news for you.
What?
We're friends IRL. We can
True.
indeed continue
this
these conversations.
That's right.
conversation can continue.
Never
in real
ends.
life.
Great
Yeah.
news. Yeah.
Yeah. This
Go
is
to
so
your
great.
house and sit on a couch for
hours. I know. What? Did we miss anybody? Was that everybody? I think we got everybody,
I think
right?
it was everybody.
Yeah.
I believe it was.
It was a
Super
very
solid season.
great
yeah,
season.
it was. It really was.
Should we do another one?
I feel like season 4, we have to come back with like typically in a show, season 4 is when people come back with like different looks.
Oh my God,
Like,
you're right.
Someone has to get a dramatic haircut.
Basically, what you're saying is we're wearing joggers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait,
that's-
dramatic cut. And then also now we have to start playing the archetype of the character
That's
we
right.
became.
That's right.
So
That's
like
right.
any,
That's right.
any
Over
theme
the
over the top
That's
of
right.
it.
That's
it's
right.
like season 4 is always a pivotal in any show.
Yep.
Season
Is this based on research?
I'm thinking about Friends
I'm
right
only
now.
thinking about
Empirical
Sex and the City.
research.
Oh, well, there we go. Also, by the way, both set in New
What
York.
did you
Yeah.
say?
I said empirical research.
Yeah, mine. It's called
Yeah.
When I Rot on the Couch and research very important things like when does Carrie Bradshaw get her weird
Short
haircut? Or in the show Felicity, remember when she
Oh,
got
yeah.
her?
Oh, yes.
I liked it, but that
Oh,
was
yes.
when it
Oh,
happened.
yes.
Well, I actually
It
never
was.
watched the show, but I listened to a podcast.
Your sitting bit with the like
I am.
curl bob.
I'm gonna get like an Orphan Annie haircut. Is that
Oh,
fine?
it's so good.
Can we get that in writing?
Yeah.
I love it.
Talk about dreams that never happened.
Poor baby.
I know.
Sorry.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Maybe your daughter will get it.
That's fine. I'll work through that.
Well, what we didn't answer the question. We were just changing our looks.
Yes,
We're all gonna
and.
get
Yeah,
some
everyone's-
Botox.
That's right.
We're gonna get
Yeah.
some.
We're going to go do it.
Yeah.
Everyone's
together,
gonna come back
right
with
now.
new looks.
Yeah.
And really lean into whatever our archetype is.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
exactly. The
Sounds good.
That's what
archetype
we've
thing
decided.
Is,
Yeah.
exactly what we've decided. So
Sounds like
reasons
that.
But
to
either
check
way,
in.
we're coming back.
Yeah, either way.
Win-win.
Yeah.
Win-win.
Win-win for the listeners and for us.
Win,
I
win,
think
win, win.
so.
That's
I
right.
think it is.
I like extra wins too.
Well, I think the good news is that we've already had some initial conversations with some people who are interested in participating, and it is gearing up to be another fascinating season.
That's right.
So,
But also, I feel like if there are people that are listeners
Thank you. We love you.
would like us to maybe talk to.
Yeah, send us
Like,
some
let
recs.
us know if there's someone
Yeah.
that you're like, if you
We would
know
love
someone
that.
really cool that's doing a cool thing.
Yeah.
I would really, I mean, that would be amazing.
Yeah, we would love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, send us some referrals, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the referrals actually came from Chris Heller. He was like, this was great. I've
We
got
love
somebody that you should talk to, and sent one over to us. And so, yeah.
And
Or
we
if
like
you're doing a
meeting new
cool
people,
thing.
too.
And
Yeah,
Yeah,
we do. Yeah.
Exactly. We love meeting. We love
We do.
meeting and having these conversations because it
Yeah.
really does help us grow and learn.
Absolutely.
So, what else, guys? Anything else? We're gonna jump the shark at this point.
I mean,
keep going.
It's gonna get weird
The
if we keep
curly
going.
hair.
So,
That's right.
I'll
now,
go to the tank.
yeah.
I love it. All right. Well, thank you guys. For
Yes.
Thank you, Leslie.
excellent
Thank you.
season.
Yeah, thank
It was
you.
so fun.
It was
Well,
so
Also,
fun.
thank you to our friends here.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
Record ATX. The
Record
best.
ATX.
Record
we
ATX,
love you
yeah,
guys.
shout
best,
out
the
No,
best.
thank
to them.
you. We love you.
Yeah, we do love you guys. Okay, guys. Well, please
Until season 4.
Until season
Yeah.
4.
tell your friends.
Mhm.
Re-listen to some episodes.
Yes, actually, that is so
Yeah.
good to do.
Yeah.
honestly.
Follow.
I-
If you need some recommendations for some seasons, give us a call.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Call
Huh.
us.
Oh, a phone call.
Get
Yeah.
to know our archetypes so it's not
Yes.
too weird in season 4.
Make
Yeah.
suggestions.
There you go.
Anything you'd like to see more of, less of, is fine.
Yeah.
We'll take it all.
I
All right.
seriously, by the way, I know I said it at the end of the last one. I will, if someone leaves a review, I will send you a note.
She's really serious.
She is.
about
I've heard
her note.
podcasts that do this all the time where they're like, leave a review and I'll send you a personal message.
Yeah, I'll send you a personal
I'll
message.
send you a message. I don't.
All right, y'all,
Yeah,
let's
leave
do
a
it.
review. You will get a personal message
I love that.
from one or all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds
like
good.
it.
All right.
There it is.
Call to arms.
Subscribe on all platforms.
Yes.
Re-listen. Get ready for season 4. And we will see you guys soon.
Yay.
Yay.
Stay
Thank
as
you.
you are.
Stay as
Stay as you
We'll change our
are.
haircut, but the rest of
We
it,
will
as you
not
are.
be
We will
staying
not
as
be as
we
we
are.
are.
We'll be as
any
we will
longer.
become.
That's right. New
Love
new
you
title.
guys.
Yes,
Bye.
hasta